When you hear the word singularity, what comes to mind? Probably science fiction, right? Super smart machines, a world we can't control anymore. But what if the real singularity, the one that's happening right now, has nothing to do with machines and everything to do with us? That's what we're going to dig into today. This is a totally different way of looking at AI's impact, and honestly, it's pretty profound. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the singularity we're all familiar with. I mean, it's the one that's everywhere, in the news, in the labs, definitely in the movies. It's all about this one big idea, computation hitting a tipping point. And here it is, the classic definition. It's a pretty intense idea, right? Kind of terrifying, actually. This intelligence explosion, where an AI just keeps getting smarter, building the next, even smarter AI, and it all just spirals in this crazy feedback loop that leaves us humans totally behind. And you know what? This one idea has pretty much shaped the entire conversation we have about AI safety. And so naturally, from that one definition, you get all these fears. These are the stakes we've been told to prepare for. I mean, think about it. Every major AI lab has teams dedicated to containment and alignment, trying to solve the puzzle of how to control something that by its very nature is beyond our understanding. So all this effort, all this brain power, it's all aimed at stopping one specific kind of event, a computational one. But what if that's not the event we should be worried about? This is where things get really interesting. The source material for this whole explainer basically says, hold on a second. It throws out this radical idea that maybe, just maybe, we've been prepping for completely the wrong kind of storm. So here's the core argument. The real singularity isn't what happens inside a computer. It's what happens inside of us when we're finally forced to look into a brand new kind of mirror. And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. The whole point of change isn't external. It's not happening in some silicon chip. Nope. It's happening inside our own minds, our own consciousness. The big moment isn't when the machine gets smarter than us. It's when it holds up a mirror so clear, so detailed, that we just can't look away from what we see. Okay, so you're probably wondering, why AI? What makes it so different? How is this tool so fundamentally different from, I don't know, a hammer or a smartphone? Well, it all comes down to one thing, its ability to have a conversation. For the first time ever, we have a tool that isn't just a passive thing we use. Think about it. A paintbrush helps you create, sure, but an AI can actually respond to what you've made. You can write in a journal to record your thoughts, but an AI can question those thoughts. It's a two-way street. It creates this back and forth, a real dialogue with something that feels like an other. And this unique back and forth, the source material has a great name for it, the third space. It's this in-between place. It's not just in your head, and it's not in the AI's code. It's in the relationship between the two of you. And it's in that shared space that totally new ideas can pop up, insights that you couldn't have had on your own, and the AI couldn't have generated by itself. You know, this fear we have, this deep worry that some new tech is going to make us obsolete or lazy or just plain worse. It feels so specific to right now, doesn't it? But it's not at all. In fact, it's one of the oldest stories in the book. There is a very, very clear pattern if you look back through history. Just look at this list. It's amazing, right? Every single time, the panic is the same. A new tool shows up and we immediately point the finger at it for some human flaw that was already there. The printing press didn't create radical ideas, it just spread them. Social media didn't invent narcissism, it just gave it a giant stage and a like button. The tech is never the source of the problem, it's just the amplifier. It's what makes the problem impossible to ignore. And the camera? Oh, that's the perfect example. Everyone was freaking out that it would be the end of painting. Painters are going to be out of a job. But what really happened? The camera took care of the boring part, just capturing reality. And that liberated painters to explore everything else, the stuff only a human painter could do. Perception, emotion, consciousness. I mean, think about it. No photography, no Monet, no Picasso, no modern art. It changed everything. And the whole point here is that AI is doing that exact same thing, but for thought itself. Now that anyone can create a decent sentence or a cool image, it forces us to ask, okay, so what's actually valuable? And the answer isn't the technical skill anymore.
It's what's behind the words. It's the quality of your consciousness, the depth of your experience, the genuineness of the question you're asking.
Okay, so this leads us to something a little uncomfortable, a really powerful but tough idea. If AI really is a mirror, then we've got to be willing to look at what it shows us, warts and all, especially when it comes to all that generic, kind of soulless AI slop that's flooding the internet. And here's the kicker. The source material argues that when an AI spits out something that's just empty and derivative and totally meaningless, it's not the AI's fault. It's because the human who prompted it didn't bring any real experience, or a genuine question, or a real point of view to the table. The AI is just reflecting the emptiness it was given. That hollow feeling we get from it, that's not a machine problem, that's a human reflection.
And this is a really cool way to think about it, called the capacity equation. Basically, it says that what you can actually do or create in the world is your natural talent minus all the things holding you back. And that's the secret to AI. It doesn't magically give you more talent. What it does is take away the constraints. It breaks down barriers, like, not being able to draw or struggling to find the right words for a really complex idea. And here it is, the big, uncomfortable truth that the mirror is showing us. That slop we were talking about, it's not new. I mean, think about all the formulaic corporate emails, the boring academic papers, the marketing slogans that sound like they care but really don't. We've been making this stuff for generations. Humans have been producing stuff without any real heart or soul behind it for a long, long time. All AI did was make it super efficient, super scalable, and yeah, totally impossible to ignore anymore. So, after all that, where do we stand? Well, looking at it this way completely changes the game. It changes our whole relationship with AI. The focus isn't on how do we build a better box to keep the AI in, it's how do we become better, more interesting people to begin with. And the argument is that this massive anxiety we all feel about AI, it's not really about the machine going rogue. It's a projection. It's us taking a much older, much more personal fear, the fear of truly seeing ourselves without the filters, without the excuses, and just putting it onto the technology. It's the fear of what that mirror is going to show us. And this slide, I think, just nails the final takeaway. For so long, we've been obsessed with the wrong question. The real conversation isn't about how to control some powerful thing out there. It's about how we grow, how we mature, when we're faced with this massive revelation about ourselves in here. So in the end, the outcome of this reflective singularity, well, it isn't set in stone. It's not some tech event that just happens to us. It's a choice. It's a human choice. Is all of this unprecedented self-awareness going to lead to some kind of utopia where we all grow? Or is it going to be a terrifying look at who we really are? That outcome depends entirely on whether we have the courage to actually look in the mirror. And that's a question no AI is ever going to be able to answer for us.